Hello, so today is my monthly empties video. Something that I've started doing only since last month, but I think it's really useful because sometimes I review products right from the beginning, and then actually once I've used them for a little bit, I'm like, I start to see the little cons. So today I'm going to be talking about my experience with Gua Sha and facial rolling with a rose quartz roller. I'm going to be talking about the M Plus range from Superdrug. And I'm going to be talking about this wonder product here, which is the Murad Intensive C Radiance Peel. Oh my God. Anyway, Gua Sha is something that has been seen to be a bit of a fad in the beauty industry. I've only really seen it go mainstream within the past year or so, and I didn't really think much of it. I've always been an advocate of the benefits of facial massage, but I did think that Gua Sha was just like going to be a bit of a phase that was going to come in and go out like a lot of things do. I mean, the latest thing that I've seen are those blue liquid-filled balls that you just swipe over your face. And I'm thinking, for God's sake, and I look to see how much they are. They're like 65 to 70 pounds. And I'm like, for a bit of ice to go on your face. Come on. So anyway, first I'm going to talk about this little kit that I've got from Amazon. This came in at £25, excellent value for money. It's really pretty as well. Look, it's in my favourite colour. Really nice pale pink with like this rose gold detailing on it. So it actually just looks really nice on my bathroom shelf as well. But this in the morning feels so nice. So I have a tendency to get sort of quite puffy in the morning. I've got quite deep set eyes as well. So in the morning, like my eyes look really sunken, just where the face is puffy and the eyes are sunken. It's like that sort of contrast. So that makes me feel really quite self-conscious in the morning. But what I can say is that since I've been using this, I can really feel the benefits of the lymphatic drainage first thing in the morning. Besides from that, it actually just feels really lovely and really self-indulgent. It's something, at the moment, I've got a lot more time than I would usually have. So I'm definitely keen to try little things like these. But to be honest, will I continue to use this once my schedule goes back to normal? I'll probably throw it in a couple of times a week. But I have to say the benefits have actually been noticeable. And the first time I noticed it, because I like to give things a fair go, and I'll be honest, when I first started using this, I was like, this is a hype. It's not doing anything. All these things that they promise, these facial contours, where are they? Until I went out on Boxing Day to my uncle and auntie's place. So obviously it was the day after Christmas. That whole week had been full of like sodium and chocolate and alcohol and fats and sugars and all those naughty things that we do around Christmas. So anyway, I spent the evening with my uncle and auntie. We had lots to drink, we had lots of food, lots of salty food, you know, gluten, definitely not clean eating, right? And so usually I would come home sort of like looking sort of quite puffy and probably just not as good as I did when I left out. When I came home, I was really surprised to see that my face still had contours. And that is literally the story that I will tell people when it comes to promoting this product, because sorry, I said promoting. This is by no means a paid promotion or anything like that. I'm just saying, when I find something good, I do like to promote it to friends and family. So yeah, that is the story that I tell. When people ask me how this has gone, I tell them, because I know that's something that a lot of women can relate to. When you come home, you look good when you leave in the morning. Face looks contoured, tight, and then by the time you come home, you're looking a bit puffy, a little bit sad, you know. So, but this, it kept everything looking really, really good. So since then, I have showed it a little bit more respect. Now with the Gua Sha, what I really like about this one is I can see the work that it's doing. It does definitely feel, this one is sort of like a more soothing experience. It feels really nice and sort of like relaxing. But with the Gua Sha stone, it definitely feels, it's a more rigorous movement. So like you can feel like it's actually doing something. Definitely not as soothing and relaxing as the roller. But sometimes you want to feel like something's actually happening. And then you can actually see that something's happening because the face starts to get quite red. It feels like warm to the touch. So if nothing else, this gets a good amount of blood flowing to the surface of your skin. Now, what Gua Sha claims to do is it relieves the tension by massaging those deep knots and fibrous tissue out of the face. So by relieving that tension, we get better lymphatic drainage, we get better blood flow, we get better energy flow, or qi as they call it in China, which is where these originate from, which is just meant to make us look our radiant best selves. So I will say that since using those two in combination with the other things that I've been doing this month to take care of my skin, the most noticeable difference that I've seen has been the condition of the skin on my forehead. Now, the skin on my forehead literally has that sort of Botox type appearance. And I'm going to say that it's down to both the combination of these and the peels that I've been doing this month, which I detailed in the video that I did last month. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the rose quartz roller and Gua Sha stone. That is something that I'm probably going to keep in my routine 3 or 4 times a week. I'm going to let myself off for the other nights because, to be honest, it does take a little bit of extra time and we don't always have it. Moving on, I've got a couple of serums from the M+ range. What I really love about this range is similar to The Ordinary. It's like a little apothecary of very affordable active ingredients that you can combine, you know, and add to your skin routine to make a really sort of personalized routine that's going to give you very good results. So I've got the tranexamic acid booster, I've got the peptide booster, and I've got the niacinamide and zinc booster. Now, depending on what I'm doing with my skin that day, I will use one of these products. So for example, if I've just done a peel, I might put on the tranexamic acid because it's anti-inflammatory. So just to sort of like bring down any sort of inflammation and redness that might follow a peel. Do any hair removal on my face, I will use the niacinamide and zinc booster. Again, I could use that if I was using the peel as well because it helps to restore the skin barrier. It's also very non-irritating, and then the zinc has got like skin healing properties as well. So last night I very naughtily squeezed the spot. I couldn't help it, you know, it was ready to go, so I just did it, and I just dabbed a bit of the niacinamide and zinc on afterwards, and that will just help to speed up the healing process. And then the niacinamide is really good for acneic skin as well, so that's what I tend to use that one for. Another thing that I tend to use the niacinamide and zinc for, and not so much now, but in the summer months when my skin tends to be a bit oilier, if I want a serum, I want to add something to my skin routine, but I didn't want to add anything too oily or too heavy, then I would go in with the niacinamide and zinc. This generally helps to refine the skin texture, and it's also really good for sensitive skins as well. And then this is my favorite one. This is the peptide booster, and I actually find that this one is comparable to a lot of high-end products that I've used. So there's a really good moisturizer that I use by a brand called Next Ultra, and that's got a really good complex of peptides in it. Now this is a peptide booster, so now that I don't use that Next Ultra moisturizer anymore, I still want to have some peptides on my skin. Now what the peptides do, as the name suggests, peptide is a type of protein. So just in the same way that protein works in your body, what the peptide booster will do is help to build your skin. So as you're starting to age, as that sort of collagen production isn't as prolific as it was when you were in your 20s, don't forget your collagen starts to decline from like the age of 27 at quite a substantial rate. So collagen is essentially a type of protein which keeps your skin looking plump, smooth and buoyant. So what we're doing is we're using that peptide booster, and what I find the visible results that I get with this is it makes the skin look very, very smooth. Like, I won't say like a primer, because I feel like primers sometimes give you a bit like of a white cast and almost too perfect to finish. Whereas this one, what it does is it just gives the skin that sort of really smooth, natural and plump, full, buoyant, bouncy, you know, all the things that we want for our skin. And actually what I do is I use this on my chest area as well. So when you're sleeping at night, especially if you sleep on your side, something that I've seen on a lot of women, not of my age, but like a little bit older, is that you start to get a bit of a crease, especially if you like to spend time in the sun and you sleep on your side and you're a bit older. That's a combination to get those lines that appear here. I use this peptide booster as a bit of a preventative measure all over my chest. I put that on at night time if I've used this on my face. But yeah, I find this one goes really, really nicely under makeup as well. As I said, it acts like a bit of a primer in the way that it sort of just conditions the skin. Sometimes I just don't want to use a primer because I quite like my skin to look dewy, where I find that primers always make me look sort of quite matte, especially when you're on camera. I did a video a couple of months ago, or maybe it was last month, and I used a primer, which is actually a fantastic primer. I've got to say, it does what it says on the tin. But on camera, it just made my face look so flat. And to be fair, some people really like that look, but I prefer, as you can see today, I prefer to look my skin to look a little bit more glowy. So that's the range from Superdrug. Love it, very affordable. All those would be about £5 to £7 each. You know, not going to break the bank. And as I always say with these really affordable active ingredients, once you find one that really vibes with your skin, then you can start looking at like the more high quality, more expensive luxury premium brands. So say you want to see what the benefits of vitamin C might be for your skin. You go and pick yourself up a £5 serum from Superdrug and you think, I can see some benefits. Then you might sort of like go and look at SkinCeuticals or Medicate or one of those sort of more premium luxury brands. And then you're not going to waste your money, you know. Last but not least, I've got the Murad Intensive C Radiance Peel. I've had some fantastic results using my hyperpigmentation routine that I did a video on last month. I'm only a month into it and I want to continue it for another 2 months. And I think probably what I'm going to do is, now that I'm sort of, just like with exercise, you kind of want a progressive overload. You know what? I'm so bad. I'm always doing this. I'm always making like fitness analogies when it comes to explaining more or less everything in life. But you kind of want to use something called progressive overload, and that's going to sort of keep getting you the results. Now I've been using this system for a month. My skin's not reacting. My skin feels like it can take on a bit more. Then I'll start to up the ante a little bit. So for example, I've been using a peel twice a week. Once a week I've been using the ordinary AHA BHA, and the second peel of the week is this one. I'll go into the details of the two in a second, but what I'm saying about progressive overload is that potentially now what I'll do is start to add an exfoliant in between. So up until now I've only been exfoliating with these two products. So now that we're sort of doing the progressive overload, I'm going to be adding either retinol or glycolic acid. I'm just going to be using that as a toner at night time, once or twice a week, just to kind of up the ante. So what will I say about this product here? The difference between the AHA BHA and the Murad Intensive C is the AHA BHA, it clarifies my skin. So when I use that, the next day, my pores look really small or non-existent actually. The skin looks really tight and sort of shiny, but you tend to get that with peels anyway. And I feel like with the AHA BHA, as it should be, it's more like a cleansing peel. With this one more addresses the radiance of my skin. So when I use this one, literally the next step, as you take it off, your skin looks brighter. I do feel like it's probably got an ingredient in it that gives that illusion, but anyway, even the next morning the skin looks brighter, and over time it gets brighter as well. But I'm always wary of those products that kind of give instant results, because it's quite easy to just chuck an ingredient in that gives that illusion. So what you want to look for is like the product that gives the results over time, and this one is definitely one of those products. So as I said, as soon as you take it off, the skin looks brighter. While it's on, it gives like a sort of tingly effect. It's got a really nice like citrusy fragrance. I leave this on for 8 to 10 minutes, and you can use it up to twice a week. I only use it once a week because of course I'm using the AHA BHA on the other peel of the week. But out of the two peels, I would say that this is probably my favourite. I think that they work fantastically together, but for my skin concern being hyperpigmentation and general evening of the skin tone, I do feel like this one is more beneficial for me than the AHA BHA one. Now, obviously there is quite a difference in price between this one and the ordinary. This one retails at about £65. I was lucky enough to get this as a gift from Murad once I completed my training. But to be honest, £65, I would have to think twice about spending that for a product. It would have to be a wonder product with real proven personal testimonials from people that I know for me to spend that money. That if £65 is within your budget, 100%, I absolutely recommend this. If you are looking for a vitamin C product that's going to help to brighten up your skin, if you're using vitamin C already and you want that sort of intensive shot of vitamin C every week, then this is exactly what you need. I would actually say that the results that you get from this are comparable to the vitamin C infusion that you can get from Murad. and that's only available in clinic. So it is really a very, very high quality product. Slightly eye-watering on the price, but to be honest, I think it's worth every penny. It's a good size. I would say, you can't see because it's a pump bottle, but it's about 1/5 of the way finished, and I've used this 4 times. So that's going to last you 5 to 6 months. So that is it for this month's monthly empties. I've really enjoyed using these. I've got to say that these products here, in combination with some of the other things that I've been doing this month, have made a really noticeable difference to my skin. I'm actually going to post my 1 month progress on my Instagram, so make sure you give me a follow. Details will be in the description box. And of course, as always, don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, I'll see you next time.